But also in 1997, Larry Sanders Show is airing season 5, episode 7, Make a Wish. Larry is desperate to make People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive list, and it causes problems with Ben Stiller, his friend and guest on the show. Customs bust Hank for importing Cuban cigars. Hilarity goes crazy.
Yeah, Hank gets in this one. I love this episode. I love this show, Steve. Like, this is a revelation to me or Larry Sanders. Everyone loved it when it was out. I was a
Yeah.
little too young. Now I love it. So,
Hey now.
right for some cameos, too. Here we get a Ben Stiller, which we all know and love. I love that. And then we get Squint, Steve.
Speaking
Squint?
of 90s sports movies, man, this is our second episode of a Squint's cameo. Do you remember the Walker, Texas Ranger Squint episode?
Sure. Squints was all over the place in the 90s. He was the one getting the action.
He looks like the rapper Logic. I don't know if you ever listened to
Dude, he does look like. I don't like Logic as a rapper, but he looks like they're related.
I don't
They
want to
might
get
be
sidetracked, but I don't get. He's dope.
I mean, we can. This isn't
Yeah.
happened in the Logic, Steve. We can get to that later. Logic to me, no, I'm not even going to say it. I don't know enough. I just don't like white rap. So that's it. That's it, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. So Squints is in the show. And that's the thing too, man. This show and Arliss, because of the nature of this show, it kind of requires cameos. Arliss, he's a sports agent, so like wouldn't be shocking to see a pro athlete in every episode. Same thing with this. It's a talk show. So it's perfect for having cameos.
And it makes it a great time capsule because we get to see the celebrities from this time period. So like a young Ben Stiller and stuff. It's just cool to see. And they were allowed to do things because this was HBO back in the day that you wouldn't really get to see the celebrities that you know and love do unless it was on an HBO show, which now seems kind of commonplace, but another great one.
We start this one off with Larry and Art. They're talking to, I guess, the publicist for the show or publicist for Larry. It's about this Make-A-Wish Foundation kid that's on his way there. Apparently, it's not like an obvious illness that he's dealing with. It's internal.
Yeah, because Larry's like, this isn't one of those gross, sick kids, is it? Just ruins the vibe. And yeah, the guy's like, no, it's cool, man. Like, you can't even tell. He's got a cool disease. So chill on that. But Larry could even care less because I think the deal that the publicist is so excited about is that not only are they going to have this kid in, but it coincides with People's Magazine coming to do like a spread just about him and his show. But he's like, I don't care about that. What about the Sexiest Man thing? And the publicist is like, look, man, like you're 11, dude. Like you're right there, but you know how hard it is to crack top 10. I don't know. I'm not a miracle worker here, bro.
And I'm a Gary Shandling fan, but bro,
on the inside. See, this is beautiful on the inside issues, Steve.
Oh, I forgot when they were doing that.
But that's he's like. Because the publicist is like, look, man, you're on TV. That list is for people in movies. So it's hard for you to get on it. And he's like, but what about Clooney? And he's like, come on, dude. Clooney.
He's Batman.
He's Batman, dude. Like, what do you want me to do? So Hank shows up. He interrupts as he usually does, but he's got gifts. A lot of Cubans flowing around, Steve.
He's got some cigars. And I think the publicist asked, like, where did you get those? I got them from a country called None of your goddamn business.
Ayo. That's a classic. But yeah, Hank's the guy, Steve. He's the plug. He's the Cuban plug. He's the connect. He's got little Felipe rolling. He almost cuts his finger off. He's just not good. It's like you smoke these a lot and you're having these many issues. I don't get it, Hank. But Hank's he's accident prone. We cut to later. And Hank's a curmudgeon. He's always got a problem. And he's talking to Scott Thompson, who's his assistant, Brian. He's just smoking cigars just flamboyantly in this small office. And Brian just pulls out one of those like little like personal fans and just points it right at Hank. And I get that because to be honest, Steve, as somebody who smokes a lot of weed, it might be weird. I hate the smell of cigars. It's disgusting.
I found it funny when Brian suggests, hey, man, maybe you should stop smoking. Hey, why don't you take your pants off and go blow yourself?
Hank really changed from the last episode where he's trying to be the wingman for this gay guy. And now he's like, get a dick, okay? put it in your ass.
Don't get between Hank and the cigars, man. That's it.
But Hank's kind of going through this list with Scott Thompson of these famous people because he's the plug, Steve. So he's got all these famous names that he's got to deliver these Cubans to. And he's going through it. And the one that stood out to me was Jason Priestley, who needed 6 boxes of Cubanos because, quote, he smokes like a chimney, Steve. So I guess Priestley was out there just hitting them hard.
Brandon? Yeah, Brandon.
That's not a Jason Priestley thing. A cigarette, yes. Then you're cool. A cigar, that seems too 1%er to me. That's like old white men talking about killing some island of people to get minerals or something.
I just don't see Canadians being cigar people in general. Like, I don't see Alex Trebek smoking. I don't see Jim Carrey smoking a cigar. I don't see John Candy. Maybe John Candy was
John
smoking.
Candy, yeah.
Yeah.
Candy, he definitely had a couple of Cubanos, but it's not drugs, but he's kind of dipping his toe into that world, right? He's importing some illegal stuff into the country, and the Hollywood's really trying to get a part of it. So shout out.
And now Larry, he's talking to that publicist again, and they're trying to figure out how they can bump somebody off the list so they can have room for him to be at least in the top 10 sexiest men alive. And they're contemplating on bumping Ben Stiller. So that's a conversation they have. And then we cut to Squints, and he's talking to Jim Belushi, who's just getting here. He's trying to get them smokes from Hank. And the kid, he wants to meet Larry, though. So Beverly introduces him to Mary Lou. And for some reason, she just goes off and cries.
Yeah, anytime Mary Lou sees this Make-A-Wish kid, it just throws her in tears. This Make-A-Wish kid, he gives Jim Belushi a hard time. And he's like, were you in like Jurassic Park or something? Like, and Jim Belushi just is like, yeah, kid, whatever. Like, because he doesn't know who he is. I mean, nobody does. It's Jim Belushi. So not the Belushi we're looking for.
One of my favorite characters on this show is Phil. The kid, he meets Phil. He says to Beverly, I didn't know you had a kid. Like Beverly's like, you want to show him how you put the monologue on the cue cards? I wish I knew how to do it myself. And he walks away.
He just leaves.
Phil's a dick, man.
Bev is basically on disaster control because she's just moving this kid around, trying to keep him away from Larry. She's like, yeah, let's do this. Meet Jim Belushi. Let's go on a yogurt run. It's just constant, like, moving this kid around. But, Squints is just down for the cause. He's backstage and he's loving it.
Well,
like, everyone knows he's a Make-A-Wish. It's like, the little sick kids here.
Yeah. I just think it's weird that someone's last wish is to meet Larry.
The middle of all this lady shows up, and turns out the reporter from People Magazine's here to do her story on Larry right in the middle of them trying to push this sick kid around. So she's like, oh, hey, have you met Larry? And the sick kid's like, oh, not yet. The reporter's like, isn't that the first thing that you'd want to do? So now they have to like hide the fact that they're trying to keep this kid away from Larry and make it seem like it's all copacetic. So there's a lot of moving parts, Steve. The stress level's ramping up a little bit.
So now with the gun up to the head, they have to take the kid to Larry now. Larry's in his office talking to Phil, going over jokes for the monologue, and Charlie comes in. Also, Tanya with People Magazine, she comes in with Charlie. Apparently the monologue's about Madonna's baby shower. Phil's mentioning something about a mobile that has a picture of like 1,000 guys on it.
And Larry's just ripping a cigar next to this sick kid too. So it's just not a good environment. Art takes Bev outside because he's just like pissed at Bev. He's like, I told you not to bring this sick kid around Larry when he's doing the monologue. It throws him off. I like Art. Art is a great producer, by the way. He's constantly like, look, Larry's the money.
He gets it.
Protect the money. All right. He does get it.
Stays on the objective. She was just like, we got cornered by the reporter, so we had no choice. And then all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off. Find out that Hank's office is soaking wet. The sprinklers just went off and soaked all the cigars, all of his furniture. I guess the couch even burned. So there's that.
He got high off cigars, passed out, and then the cigar lit everything on fire. This is like crackhead logic, honestly. I don't know how it went that far, but not only has he ruined the office, he's ruined all those beautiful Cubans, Steve.
All the Cubans, his book collection, everything, man. And then Charlie comes in. At some point, Hank gives Charlie a cigar as he walks out.
He's like, yeah, kid, here's a cigar. Kids are awesome. Charlie comes in right when he's cussing people out or something. Charlie's really getting a Hollywood experience at the show. I love that.
Art's like, if you want to give him a memento, give him a white owl.
Art's just pissed he's giving away the good stuff. I think he even takes all the other boxes. He's like, I'm going to take these so you can't mess them up.
He does.
So he leaves, and then we cut to makeup, and Larry's in makeup, and his publicist comes in. He's like, Larry, you notice this wet spot on my pants? It's because I just creamed myself. You cracked the top 10. Ben Stiller? He's out. I like this guy who's the publicist. This is a 90s actor who I don't know his name, but he's all over the place.
You've seen him.
Yeah, you know him.
And Stiller comes in. And Norman, I think that's his name in here. Norman, he meets Ben, and they're all being chummy with each other, knowing what they did to the man. And Beverly, she comes in. Art wants to talk to him, I guess, because the inspector of the U.S. Customs Service is there. So, yeah, we had the Secretary of Agriculture last week. I'm going to need your cigars, Mr. Sanders. It's a criminal offense. The officer says, I'm not leaving until I know where those cigars came from. Art says, we're not going to speak unless we have a lawyer. Larry's just like, Hank gave them to me. Yeah,
they're Hank's. He just throws them right under the bus. So then we cut to Hank's office. He's getting grilled. Keep in mind, his office has just been destroyed because he was smoking cigars. So he's in there with this guy, and he's like, look, I don't even like cigars, right? Why would I buy them? I don't smoke. And the guy's like, well, what's that humidor on your desk for? He's like, oh, that taffy. Can a guy not get some taffy? I needed some good humidity for the taffy to maintain. The guy's like, yeah, but your couch is burnt, and it smells like cigars in here.
Yeah. Larry told me you gave them to him.
That son of a bitch. So it turns out Hank's going to jail. And the guy's like, look, I'm going to let you do this show, but afterwards we're going downtown. That's not a great mood to go into a show that you're recording, Steve. He's going through some stuff.
And as the officer leaves, that's when Hank sees Tanya from People Magazine, because she's right there at the doorway with her pen and pad in hand. And he's just like,
you mother.
Damn. I got to deal with this shit too.
And then we cut to like in the backstage area, and Art's in a corner just trying to blow dry those cigars dry just so he can smoke them. I don't know if they're going to be good, but he's giving his all. Mary Lou, who up until this point has just been broken down in tears next to Charlie, the sick kid, is now sitting with them backstage. And they're just kind of hanging out. She's talking to him. And she's like, I can't believe Hank gave you this stogie. This is some high-class stuff. And she starts sniffing it. She's like, how old are you? And Charlie's like, I'm 14, whatever. And then she just lights it up and gives this kid the stogie, Steve. I love Mary Lou. She's cool.
Yeah, she started smoking around that age. So, hey, no harm, no foul. Now we're at the Ben Stiller interview, and he's talking about his first kiss and how he reconnected with that girl after she saw him on TV and she caught the vapors. And Larry's just like, it's not easy for you to get dates, I guess.
But by the way, you're looking svelte, dude. Are you working out? He keeps mentioning that, but then they go to commercial or whatever, and it just seems like there's some awkwardness. Yeah, there's a little bit of tension there. Ben finally just spills the beans. Is like, look, man, I know what you did. You got me bummed. All right, I know it. Larry, he tries to lie his way out of it, but Ben's like, look, man, I'm out. Which is putting Larry in a kind of a situation because they're recording a show here. He can't just leave.
Well, he's like, well, where'd you hear that from? And then Ben Stiller, he looks over at Hank. He's like, oh, dude, well, thanks for ratting me out, Hank. Well, yeah, dude, well, thanks for diming me out to the cops, asshole.
Which leaves Ben just pissed. He's about to leave, and they go behind the curtain. They're like arguing. And then Bev wheels out Charlie, this sick kid, and it kind of just chills everything out for a little bit, right? Ben stops yelling. Charlie's sick. I think even Art's like, hey, guys, we got to do this one for Charlie. So, like, he's being wheeled out to go to the hospital because that cigar didn't really mix well with his medicine, Steve.
And all the guys saw this, and now Ben Stiller is moved. He's touched. And that's what sells him to get back on stage because Art's like, yeah, we got to do this for Charlie.
That's it.
Yeah, when the show starts again, Larry's like, look, Charlie, our biggest fan, he should be with us right now, but now he's in the hospital. He had to go to the hospital, and I hope you get better. Anything you need to say, Ben? And he has some sentiments. I wish I knew you, Charlie. You seem like a great kid. So Godspeed. Hope everything works out. And then he turns to Hank. You got anything to say to Charlie? No.
Fuck that kid. No,
Hank don't give a fuck about Charlie.
I'm going to jail, bitch. And then backstage, Art, he's just basking in the glow, Steve. That after show glow, it's been a success, even through all that disaster. But right at the end, Mary Lou's like, but Charlie needs a second wish. And that's how the episode ends. Charlie got a little greedy, Steve. You got to smoke a cigar. I mean, damn, if nothing else, that's it. You're good. Shout out Squints, dude. I just saw him in Columbus at a Sandlot thing that me and Kendra went to last year. So still standing strong on that fame. But damn, this kid was doing it,
Still look the same?
I mean, yeah. Put a couple of years on him, put a couple wrinkles in his face. But yeah, he's still looking very... And here's the thing I like, Steve. The Squints guy, I forget what his name is. You know what he's leaned heavily into? Weed.
Nice.
Squints makes you squinty.
He's kind of risen the ranks of one of my favorite of the Sandlot crew as the years go along, man.
I mean, he was always my favorite just because
really
forever he was to me he had the best moments, and he stole Wendy Peppercorn.
My guy was Benny. My guy was always Benny, man.
Wow. I mean, the hero, of course.
The hero. I mean, I was a Hulkster fan, so what, that's how my mind worked in the early 90s. But